Hi, my name is Amy Senes, and I'm going to be doing a presentation on the difference between APR and APY when it comes to financing. To start out, APR stands for the annual percentage rate. This percentage rate shows the once a year standard rate that you're going to pay. It's not going to include any compounding interest. It's just going to be the regular, what your percentage rate is versus on top times your how many periods there are in a year. Next, APY stands for the annual percentage yield. This is the actual yield that the lender is going to be getting back when they lend out their money. So with every period that you pay, there's going to be an interest that you can compound. And that compounding interest is going to be extra money that the lender is going to receive that is not going to be included in the APR, but is included in the APY. So the big difference is the APR only includes the yearly interest. So as you can see, APR equals the periodic rate times the number of periods in a year. The APY, on the other hand, is going to include the compounding interest. So APY is going to equal the 1 plus periodic rate to the power of the number of periods minus 1. The power of the number of periods is what really changes and flips this function and equation on its head and makes it so much different than the APR, which is a standard periodic rate times the number of periods in a year equation. Now, to prove the difference, if you take a 16% interest in 12 periods, the APR is going to be 0.16 times 12. So that's going to give you 1.92. The APY, on the other hand, with the same exact numbers, is going to give you 4.94. Those are drastically different numbers, and those are drastically different outcomes that you're going to be paying. So what the banks do is the banks want to show the borrowers the APR, because the APR is going to give you that lower number and it's going to look more enticing. So if you're going to borrow money, you want to see smaller numbers with your interest so that you think that there's not going to be as much interest that you have to pay off. When in fact, the APY is the actual interest you're paying off, not the APR. But the banks want to show the APR because it's smaller and you're more likely to sign off on it because it is a smaller number, it looks better. But when banks talk to the lenders, so the people who are giving out money, then they want to show the APY, because the APY shows how much exactly they're going to get back. So the exact number, the bigger number, which shows the compounding of your interest which is going to give you a bigger number, more money back. The lenders want to watch their money grow. And so in order to watch their money grow, you have to see all of those, you want to see those big numbers and those big changes that is going to happen and all the big returns that you're going to want to get back. Now to move on. Is this okay? No, I do not think this is okay. I think that it helps people get into a lot of trouble. And the borrowers who aren't necessarily finance or real estate majors or minors, or have even taken a real estate class in their life, are going to realize the difference between the APR and the APY. So they're going to see the APR and they're going to assume that that is the actual number that they're going to be paying back to the bank, which is false. That's a lie. And so when banks are taking these numbers and they're showing it to people that are trying to buy a house, buy whatever they're trying to buy, then they are really just lying to them and trying to get them to pretty much line their own pockets, line the bank's pockets with more money. but the borrowers actually don't understand what's happening, and this could totally be one of the contributors that started the 2008 housing crash and the market crash, because people weren't totally understanding that that their interest rates were so high. If you could go back to the slide that shows the difference, then you can see they could have been getting these APR. See, they could be signing papers that have the APR at 1.92, and they think, oh, 1.92, that's a really small number. But in reality, they actually had to pay back almost 4 times that much, which is a lot more money than what was previously expected. This makes it harder for people to budget correctly. This makes it harder for people to save, and it makes people not understand exactly what they're getting into, which is not fair when they are trying to start a new adventure in their life and they just don't understand exactly what's going on. So this concludes my presentation on the difference between APY and APR. The main points that you really want to get at is that the APR only includes the yearly interest, so there's no compounding on top of it. It's not the exact percentage that you will be paying, in fact. The APY, which is the annual percentage yield, is going to be the really important number. That is the number that you're actually going to be paying back for sure. That's with the compounding interest on it, and all the compounding interest changes and gets higher with however many periods there are, whether it's compounding yearly, compounding monthly, compounding weekly, compounding daily. All of those things are going to make that number go even higher, which means that you're going to have to be paying back even more money than you're going to previously expect. So the APY is the actual number you will be paying back and the actual percentage that you will be paying back. The APR is just a roundabout estimate. That is the big difference in both of these situations, and that's the really important part that you need to get out of. The difference between APR, annual percentage rate, and the APY, annual percentage yield. Yield is what you're actually going to pay. Rate is just a ballpark and a guess. Thank you for listening to my little spiel on APR and APY. Hopefully this helps clear up any questions you have. Bye.